then again, you might be putting a lot of faith in their randomization for New Worlds. I would be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if Bethesda didn't have random world fucking hopping and it was just linear, like World 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go directly to, so they'll just always be behind you. Like, you'll have to do, like, maybe 3 or 4 fucking immediate world travels just to be sure to shake them. I would not be surprised. Oh, did you ever hear of that Bully Hunters thing back in the day? There was like this chick Zombie Unicorn that was involved in it, but like she was just like hired as a spokesperson. She wasn't really doing it. The whole thing was a scam to sell SteelSeries headsets, I believe. But either way, though, this Bully Hunters thing, they were going on these stats on how chicks are, like, you know, abused in video games and talked down on. They had audio clips of, like, a guy yelling, "Why don't you go in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, you stupid bitch," and stuff like that. But either way, whatever, it's words. I mean, you can mute the guy. Fuck, it's not that hard. But either way, though, with that, the Bully Hunters thing, though... Oh, yeah. And pinch it. Yeah. 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 But that Bully Hunters thing, it was hilarious. They were setting it up like it was mostly for women, but in general, if you're in a game and being abused, then you basically call, like, you know, send out the bat signal to the Bully Hunter hotline, and they'll hook you up with a professional bully hunter who will come and join your game and hunt down the person that's bullying you, kill them, and send them a personal message like something like "bullying is not a game" or some stupid shit like that. It was really gay. And either way, though, like, it would be the kind of shit where a bully or troll would just laugh their fucking asses off at how sad it is, right? So it'd have no effect anyhow. But the hilarious thing is it was for one specific game, and it was like CS:GO, if I remember right. So, like, it was something like that, like CS:GO or that type of game, which is hilarious because the way that game is structured for matchmaking, if you sent out the bat signal and called in a bully hunter, there's actually incredibly high odds that they would randomly be stacked on the enemy's team with your bully and not even be able to fucking kill him, or maybe incur a team kill penalty. But in which case, they'd look like the asshole for team killing, and then, like, you know, basically doing the teabag squats, like, "Bullying is not a game." They'd sound psychotic, you know what I mean? Like... You'd probably get banned, like they'd screenshot and report you, and you'd look like an absolute fucking lunatic, so... It was really funny, though, especially with that, which is why the whole thing was a scam, but Zombie Unicorn wouldn't have really known that. She just got paid to be the spokesperson, right? But the whole thing, it's hilarious. If you have some spare time, just Google Bully Hunters and find a video while you're eating dinner or something, and laugh your nuts off. It's so fucked up and sad. But... like, I'm not a fan of Zombie Unicorn. She got bagged probably on that more than she should have, just because she was the hired face. But on the same hand, like, I'm not a fan of hers, and she's done a lot of other dumb shit anyway. But still, it was like, the funny thing is at the end of the day, they were just doing that whole virtue signaling, we're in it for the women's rights, things, all that. The main company behind the scenes was there. It was just to sell SteelSeries headsets, because they kept advertising them and highlighting them throughout the fucking special. But it was done up almost like fucking, like, Unsolved Mysteries or something, like where you're in the fucking war room or the criminal investigation fucking thing, and they're reading out these stats and shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, it was so bad, but it was funny. Like, it wasn't supposed to be, but it was unironically, like, fucking hilarious. Oh, and the Bully Hunter. The Bully Hunter turned out... The Bully Hunter turned out to be the same person because like they had different logins, but they all had like a signature that each one carried, and it was all the same fucking user. And they had it set up while they're giving you the presentation. There's like in the studio with all these screens and kind of bluish, I think, lighting, and then all of a sudden it would go to red lighting, like the Starship Enterprise on fucking red alert on the bridge, and it would be like an incoming incident with a bully on the line, and they'd show you live feed of the bully hunter mowing the person down. I don't even think it was live fucking feed. I think it was pre-recorded. But it was so funny. Like, every part of it was so fucking fake and contrived. It was hilarious, especially because they were trying to present it seriously, and it wasn't done as a comedy thing. It was like straight up just a scam to sell shitty headsets. But yeah, if you're eating dinner or some shit, just Google bully hunters, and like you'll probably find something like Moist Critical or some commentary thing that'll mention it. Because I think the bully hunters themselves deleted all the shit and locked out comments and all that stuff. But yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny. I mean, in a way, in that the zombie unicorn and the other presenter chick were actually the victims in a way too. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, too, like, the presenters, I don't like Zombie Unicorn, actually, and there was another chick who, I forget her name, because she was really quiet. I think she was a doctor of some kind, though, and, like, they're sketchy as shit in their own way, and, yeah, they took the money and signed on for it, so you'll take the heat, too, I guess. But it's like, I do feel a little bad for them in a way, too, because, man, the amount of heat they took, they got put down like they were the masterminds. But it's like, well, the doctor's almost there to, like, give authenticity, so if people are, like, you know, mocking after, they're gonna go after the person that's giving them the seal of approval and endorsement, you know, obviously. Like, who the fuck stamped this shit? You know what I mean? Oh, it's you. Well, you're a stupid fucking bitch. But either way, yeah, it was a funny one, though. It was really interesting. Unfortunately, as far as it goes for, like, the supposed, you know, virtue signal of the women's rights things, it would have done the absolute opposite because of what a absolute clusterfuck it was, right? But it was kind of amusing to hear of. I heard about it way after the fact, but I still remember it. There's some stories you hear and you just remember, like there was the one in Tacoma where a bunch of Crips decided to fuck with this one dude in the yard because he was like taking camera footage and photos of them dealing drugs and reporting them to the cops, but the Tacoma cops were so underfunded they wouldn't go do anything. And with that, these gang members decided to start threatening and maybe like pretending to drive by and shit like that. But it turns out the dude these Crips started this shit with was actually a fucking Army Ranger. So there was a massive shootout with like one of the guys, because he called in some friends. And like, I can't remember, there was more than half a dozen. I think that at the end there was like a 12 or 13 Army Rangers.
Damn.
One of them had a fucking 50 cal up in there too. It was insane. And they didn't get arrested after. A strangular what monster?
Grafton monster.
Oh, Grafton monster. Right. Yeah. I forgot about the Grafton monster. Are they like the strangular? Are those the guys with the like weeds and shit on them, like those vines? I kept going to say veins, which is like, yeah, the junkies, the guys they're like, you know, tapping the vein. But yeah, no, those things. The strangle variant is like Strangleheart or whatever, I think, isn't it? It's like, that can be a pain in the ass. I think, didn't it used to be really fucking strong on the armor, but then they nerfed the shit out of it, so it's widely disproportionate to what you get versus what they get?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it used to be really good. The same with Thorn armor, if I remember right.
Dude, Thorn armor is awesome. I have that.
It's like, it's still good, but it used to be way better, didn't it?
Yeah, it used to be so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it wasn't your hard drive that got fucked. Oh, you still had to... Maybe it was your hard drive that got fucked. Because it would be reformatting the drive if it wasn't able to go on it. That's... That's weird that it wasn't saving to your, and it's a PS4, not a PS5. I use that menu because, like, yeah, I mean, I use an 8 terabyte Western Digital Black on my PS4, so like I got the 8 terabytes in like I think 2 or something on the PS4 itself. But either way, it does like save the shit to the Western Digital. But if it ever like fucks up in the PlayStation or power outage or PlayStation shuts off incorrectly, then it does kind of fuck up the Western Digital drive. But it repairs it and hasn't ever lost any data as far as I've seen. It's probably not good for it, but it's actually pretty good, solid. I got it for a good price too. Yeah, like the actual the game install data, but not the save data. That's really fucking weird. Every now and then I always back my shit up to PSN, but like the fucking, you know, the cloud shit, every now and then I always back my shit up. Can't you use... Oh, wait a minute, no, it's only the holder. Fuck. Yeah, you'd have to USB it. That sounds like that was a problem with the PlayStation itself, then yeah. Or actually, one thing that would probably happen. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I would assume one thing that would happen would be when it begins to write, like it to the cloud even, it would put what it's writing, it would copy it, put it aside as a temporary memory cache file, and then upload it to the cloud. So that way, if there's a fuck up, it doesn't correct your data. And it's just usually how computing tends to work with the background subroutine. It's why you need like RAM, random access memory, and temporary data kit files and shit. But it's for transfers without fucking things up and changing internal shit beyond repair. But either way, though, with that, if your hard drive was getting fucked, it might not have been able to properly create the cache file, and that might have been what was fucking the uploads and giving the error. Like, my PlayStation constantly gives me this CE... My PlayStation constantly gives me a CE error now and then. It'll fuck up on a save and cut out and give me the CE error, and it'll, when I was trying to upload some shit for tests, like editing pool shit, it has given me several fuck ups, and it's always the same code for the CE thing. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but I assume it's something to do with the hard drive and writing as well. But I'm not using my main PlayStation hard drive. Those things the PS4s seem to chew hard drives like a motherfucker. I've had like 3 or 4 put in mine already, and it's only a couple years old. Mine's a Pro, and I mean, who knows, maybe I got a Lemon or something like that. Yeah, I know. I mean, mine was my nephew's, and I got it from him, but he uses his stuff really well and takes care of it. And then after that, about like 6 months to a year after, I needed to send in for servicing. PlayStation just always throws a new fucking hard drive in, though, right? So, like, they don't actually really service it. Because it was always the same error. I think there was actually a problem in the PlayStation for what's writing to the hard drive that's fucking the hard drive up, but they always just threw a new hard drive in, even when I specifically said it's not the hard drive, because I was getting the same error immediately after with the new hard drive. So it was either like, it's either not the hard drive, or you guys are just saying you did something and sending the exact same machine and hard drive the fuck back out. I'm not sure what's going on, but I have no idea. But it seems like their boilerplate response is to just throw in new hard drive, send it back, and it's been serviced, right? So, which really sucks. Their servicing and, like, service end used to be way better. But I would assume with yours, the problem, since your thing totally fucked up and died, it was probably having a problem writing to the drive for whatever reason. And for your uploading to the cloud, it was probably having the exact same issue for the temporary file it would likely need to make to be able to upload to the cloud, which is why it would never actually do it, even for the guys that had the PS Plus access. Because it would be the same problem regardless of access, if it's a drive writing temp file issue. Like, I don't make computers, I'm not an electrical engineer, but I understand some of the basic concepts and subroutines that go, and it would almost definitely make a temporary file, but it needs to be able to save that. And if it's unable to do saves, if there's something fucking up in the saving process, then it will not succeed in doing that, so you'll get that error. But although you would, if you really wanted to know, you'd have to get the error, write it down, and then actually Google it, and you should be able to find out specific. Well, some of them are actually vague umbrella ones, but some of them are quite specific. The PS3 ones used to be very specific. I've noticed PS4 kind of puts in a broad range. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're definitely trying to team troll you. They might even think that if they've got good enough weapons and shit, and possibly even, like, if they're legendaries, or, legacies or whatever.
I mean, if I had it downloaded, I would hop on and kill them.
If they've got legacies and two of them team up, even with the reduced damage, unless they've really overhauled that, they might be able to buff you, like, take you out even without you responding. But, either way, though. They might also have been trying to trick your base into respawn firing to them so that they could open you up as a hostile.
That's what they're trying to do. Or they're gonna fucking do that one thing that they did the Mike camp before, fucking missile camp.
Yeah, splash damage alone and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it happens to be an area that's got, like, PvE, like, you know, enemy population around too, 'cause it's really easy defending yourself to tick shit off. I've even seen one dude who was just using someone's porta potty. They were inside it, and they, like, bumped it somehow or accidentally hit, like, a punch button, but, like, they knocked the porta potty and it turned them hostile inside the camp, and the dude was there. He was cool with it, but his automated turrets and shit definitely were not, and just obliterated the fucking guy. And it's like, yeah, shit. But I mean, he was just joking. They were friendly. He's in his camp, the guy's showing it off. He just hops in to be cute in the porta potty, and then hopping out to in some way manage to bash it or sprint and bump into it, and it counted like 1 point of damage, and then all hell fucking broke loose. It was like, shit, what the fuck? You know, but yeah, you can take advantage of that and troll it too if you like. I was thinking of getting back into Fallout 76 just for building stuff and trying to make a UFO base and shit, because there's still like levitation exploits you can do, especially with a bunch of the alien bridge sets and shit. But they get really wild. After a while it can spaghetti out and get out of control too, and you can't get back up on your line. It just keeps going like fractally off. I had one building on a cliff face. It was an absolute fucking nightmare. I think I'm still at that camp. But I fused two of the, you know, like the Brotherhood towers, I fused two of them together, so the corner circles that are on them, you know, they've got the square corners and a circle off each side, they connect together and there's a generator sitting on top of it, like an alien one. They're fucking cool, man. And it goes into like a courtyard and there's a vault fused in, so it makes like a Y shape with the vault entrance that's above ground, and in that it's all covered with like cages and fucking shit like that, like the steel bars, because they didn't have the greenhouse shit yet. And then instead of overhauling it all, because there was so much jockeying to get that shit in place, I should show you my fucking cliffside spot though with the ranger towers. It's pretty fucked up. It's kind of cool. It was so hard to build it in that site, which is exactly why I chose to build it there, but and then I just decided to be an asshole and use multiple things with foundations and mash them together like a kid with, you know, his sister's Barbie doll and his G.I. Joe. Just like, bah, bah, you know, like fucking, but either way. And it worked out. It's actually pretty sick, but
Yeah.
the only problem is there's some, like, random NPC dudes that are there, and sometimes they get in the way of my benches, so I have to, like, put two in the back of one guy's head, and it pisses the other guy off, and then everyone dies in there, but, and then sometimes they're obnoxious enough their fucking bodies still get in the way of the bench.